Hi, railroad fans. Welcome to my channel. I'm Roberto Pineda Casanova. Over here, we talk about O-gauge railroad collections. If you're into this hobby, which I love, I've been doing this for many years. Here we are. On my back is my layout. It's an O-gauge layout. And today I'm talking about kind of like a off because I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and we don't talk much about railroads that were not from this area. But I loved one that is very specific. Is a Santa Fe. The Santa Fe Railroad is considered one of the largest in the United States. It started many years ago in 1859. That's when it was founded. And it was actually founded with the names Atkinson, Topeka, and Santa Fe. And that's the area where it was operating. And the lettering was AT and SF. And that's how we know it. It was in operation for many years. It expanded all through central, north and south, and then to the west. And it's considered one of the largest. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, but it probably the second largest after Union Pacific. When he started in 1859, he started to expand. He needed more power. And like many railroads, which for many years, all the railroads where they were looking for more power and more efficiency and actually a cheapest way to do the services that they do, which is mostly carrying cargo all around the areas that they cover. They were looking for more power. And at that time, they had an engine, which was the 210-2. And they wanted something more powerful than that. So they talked to Baldwin, which is the construction of the engines that they had. And they came out with the idea of doing something larger, which was the 210-10. Which is expanded, basically double the size. So they built these two 10-10-2 engines. It was in 1911 that they did it. And it was trying to achieve more power and better service and carry more cargo around the areas to service. Unfortunately, the engine didn't do very well. The boiler did not produce enough steam or power to run the engine the way they wanted, so it was not efficient. And after about 7 years, in 1918, they decided to not use it anymore, and they convert them back to the original 210-2 instead of the 210-10-2. So during the time they had it, it had two sets of 10 wheels, and that's why it was called the 210-10-2. Lionel, a few years ago, had one model that was modeled as the 210-10-2. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was one of the original Lionel. I don't think it was the first one, but it was one of the very first ones out there. And they modeled the 210-10-2. It was successful, and it was okay. It's been like 10 years now, and they decided to do it again, and they came out with the newer version. It's a Visual Line 2, the 210-10-2. The Santa Fe, which is the way we knew it, the Santa Fe Railroad. The model that they had, it was all black. That was the prototypical coloring of the engine. But Lionel decided to have fictitious or a more colorful one, and they painted the engine with Santa Fe colors, but the original one never was painted that way. when it came out in the catalog, I was debating as to getting the prototypical, but I liked the color so much. It looked so beautiful that I went with the colorful one rather than the prototypical one. And I got it, and I don't regret it at all because it's beautiful. I've seen the original one, the prototypical one, and this colorful one, it is beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it makes an amazing impression in the layout when it's running. So I don't regret getting the fictitious one. I talked to a friend of mine. He said that, you know, if the Santa Fe had seen this engine, they would have actually paint them with those colors because they're beautiful, and the engine is a really nice engine. And that's what I'm going to present you today. I'll show you the engine and give you a few looks up to the engine in the layout and running, and hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Here it is, parked next to a big boy, the Union Pacific big boy. Even though they were not contemporary, it kind of like simulate this, or you know, you can see the size because these are actually scale models. The big boy quite larger than the 210-10-2. It just shows the the desires of this railroad companies to get more power and bigger engines. At the time of the Santa Fe one, the 210-10-2, it was actually considered the largest engine in the world at the time. Although later on, the big boy was bigger, but it was constructed quite a few years later.